Hello, Eurovision fam. We are back. We were having such a good conversation earlier this week on Sunday that, we had to bring it back, basically. That's what I'm going to say. The conversation was just so good that we had to make a part two.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, Sunday was amazing. Thanks a lot for having us back.
It was great.
Yes. Okay. So while we kind of wait for folks to join, I am Alicia Michelle, your favorite American Eurovision fan, but I might be not your favorite anymore because I've got Sam right next to me. So go on and introduce yourself, Sam.
How could I compete? I don't do YouTube. I've got a face for radio and I generally keep it that way. I'm Samantha Ross from ESC Insight and 12 Points from America. I have been reading some of your comments, so thank you very, very much. It's been a wonderful ego boost over the past couple of weeks to see your comments about me. Hi, thank you.
All right, and down below, but really the one who is on top for sure with the luscious hair, coming in from Norway. Introduce yourself, yeah.
My name is Vivian. I work over at ESC Extra. I've been a Eurovision fan since long before either of you were born. I think my first Eurovision memory is actually ABBA. I'm just so happy that Eurovision is back and that we're doing this.
Yes, I'm so happy that you were able to join us, and I'm bringing up to the stage Izana, who is joining us. Didn't come on Sunday, but was live in the chat on Sunday, and now joining us here on the stage. Izan, introduce yourself.
Hi. So I'm Izana Yard. I am a Eurovision lover. I've been involved with the Eurovision Song Contest for a few years. Used to work for the Georgia delegation a few years ago. You might have listened or read the article about Eurovision Black Lives Matter. That was me, the article from last year. And I'm a songwriter. So.
Yes. Well, thank y'all so much for joining. We're going to hop into this. So we're basically going to go through all the songs in semifinal 2. We're going to give our thoughts. We're going to talk about, will it qualify? Will it not? Who are we rooting for? And yeah, so I'm going to throw it up real quick. Yes. Look at that second semifinal. Look at it. I don't know. Just any thoughts on the second semifinal overall? I know I kind of shared my thoughts on semifinal 2 that semifinal 1, I felt like I understood the running order. Semi 2, there are some things in here that I don't necessarily vibe with. What do y'all think?
I feel like semi 1, there was, like you were saying before, you could see it's okay, fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow. This, you have these little pockets and these little clusters, having Finland and Latvia together. I'm like, who and how and why and what? But I can't wait to see what it's actually going to be like. This is, both semifinals are super unpredictable, but for very, very different reasons. And I can't wait.
I think I agree. The semi 1 is more, it flows better. It makes more sense. This seems more like it could have been a draw.
It does. It does look like a random draw. To me, if I see a running order that looks like this, I'm just kind of like, why not just go back to the random draw? At least, no one can say that nothing's unfair. I just looking at this a little bit, I'm like, okay, we could have had a random draw, but maybe they were trying to create pockets of vibes, because I do think Georgia, Albania, Portugal, Bulgaria, it is a pocket of a vibe that I could feel. I even sort of feel a little bit with the Finland, Latvia vibe, but then they kind of throw that, and then we're in Switzerland, and then we go to Denmark. I think that this is an interesting running order. Izana, do you have any thoughts on this running order?
Well, I just see the first 10 and I'm like, okay, well, there are a lot of up-tempo songs. There are some up-tempo songs that I like, and I'm not sure. I think there will be, if I just look at the first 6, or there's a lot of up tempo there, a lot of, which I like in a way, but then I'm not sure about the second half. There's such a difference.
Yeah, it's definitely all over the place, but let's start hopping into these songs in semifinal 2. And we have San Marino opening up the show, which I agree with. I think that this is a great way to kick off the show. I'm loving the song. What do y'all think?
Such a great opener. Like, Senit has been such a breath of energy and fresh air and joy and light over the past year. And honestly, I'm sad that we didn't get to see that from her song in 2011, but now we get to see it like 85,000 times magnified and blown up. And what a great way to welcome everybody to the semifinal. And I'm so excited to see whether we actually do have Flo Rida showing up. But like, that's secondary to Senit. This is the Senit show, and we're just living in it.
I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what they're actually going to do on stage. It can be magnificent, and it can be completely crazy. I agree, though. It's a really good opener. There are quite a few songs in this semi, I think, that could have been good openers. It's not as obvious as it was with Lithuania in semi 1. But I think this is a great way of opening the show.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that this opening is great. Izan, how are you feeling about
I just
San Marino?
This song makes me just so happy. It brings back the vibes of, Eurovision 2004, 5, when we had, You Are the One, those kind of songs, and Wild Dances. I love those kind of songs, and when you have this song, it just gives you a little bit of the Eurovision vibe we had a few years ago. But I love that she's bringing it back. Fuego, let's not forget Fuego. Let's not forget Fuego. And I just love it. I can't wait for it. I hope Flo Rida is coming. But Senit will do it just great. This is just, can you imagine? This is a song for San Marino. This is amazing for San Marino.
It really is. It's a moment. And coming up after San Marino is Estonia, Uku. And to be fair, I just want to start off and say, I actually like the studio cut of this song. I will admit it. Like, the studio cut of it I like, but I don't necessarily want to see it advance or be in the final at all. And I'm not feeling like that's going to happen. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm happy it's there. I think Uku is a engaging performer, good voice. In my opinion, anyway, pretty damn easy on the eyes, but that's neither here nor there. So I'm happy that he's got his shot. It's just after the craziness that's going to be San Marino, is this going to fade into the background too much? And granted, Estonia has qualified with songs that don't necessarily make an impact on this level. Like as we're talking right now, like weeks before the competition, did any of us expect Storm for Victor Krone to make it through? And I think that this is sort of a similar kind of vibe.
I did. Hold on.
Okay.
Storm, I think Storm was in my top 10. I think. I don't remember. I think Storm was in my top 10.
Definitely in the semi.
I admit when I am wrong. I admit when, I've got my tunnel vision. But I think that, Estonia, it's not a bad song. It's just that there are more impactful ones here that I think will take the spotlight.
And I do think that what you said, that it is gonna just no one's gonna even notice it after San Marino. It's just gonna be like 3 minutes of ooh, what was that? And then next song.
Yeah. And it's like I would love to see Estonia succeed. Like Tallinn is very, very high up on my bucket list of places where I want to go. And Estilal is year after year one of my favorite national finals. It's just, I wish they would go for something more innovative.
Estilal always is great. Like, to me, there's always some really amazing songs at Estilal, and they just don't pick them. They just don't pick them. I don't know why, but they don't pick them.
I agree, though. I would very happily go to Tallinn for Eurovision.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure I would do it for this song, though. I wish it was like no.
No. Bring
don't think
Stig,
it's a
bring
bad
Stig back.
song. It's just not for Eurovision. I feel like it's just not for Eurovision. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I love Thailand too. I mean, I've been on the Eurovision, your Eurovision cruise. It's just
Oh, I want to go on that so badly.
Yeah.
Looks like so much fun.
Let's go next
It
year.
All right. Okay. So we're going to move along. After Estonia, we have Czech Republic waking us up, bringing us back. Oh my God. I love this song. I expect to see it in the final. What do y'all think?
Love.
I agree completely. I actually thought they might pick that as the opener for this semi. But I mean, it's going to stand out like crazy coming after Estonia, with this energy, with his just crazy presence. Yeah, I'm convinced that they're going to qualify, and if they don't, I'm going to be really upset.
Yeah, tables will be flipped in this house if he does not qualify. Like I adore him. He's again just breath of fresh air, doing his own thing. It's unique. There's nobody else in the competition quite like him. He's so engaging. Yeah, you just kind of get sucked in.
He's so great. He's so great. I kind of want to, I'm going to throw this up and we'll sort of transition a little bit from Czech Republic into Greece, which I actually like the pairing of these two together personally. What do y'all think?
I will be dancing around my living room. Luckily there will be no cameras on me, but yes, I will be dancing. Greece is not my personal, it's not my personal thing. I don't connect with it as much as others do. To each their own, but I think the pairing of Czech Republic and Greece work well together.
Again, as I said last week, this is another one of those where I think he should be, back to Czech. He should be happy that he went to Eurovision with this song instead of the one he had last year. I think this is a much better song. It's much more accessible. Sorry.
Yeah, they're different. To me, they're different enough. It's hard for me to pick one over the other. And I like the fact that they are so different, that he's doing his own thing and doesn't want to be put into a box.
Yeah. I think last year I was more annoyed with it, but this one you just can't stop smiling and it's impossible to sit still.
I hope his stage performance is as engaging as his music video is, because that music video is brilliant. And I just the bit with the lady in the tramp and the hair and the meatball.
The video is so good. I love the
It's
visual.
so good.
Yeah, I think they were talking about the kaleidoscope. I feel like they could just kind of recreate that visual. I know that there are going to be dancers. Apparently, I don't necessarily feel like we needed dancers for this, but it's happening. So there will be dancers. Honestly, it doesn't make me any more like worried for the entry, because I do expect to see it. I expect to see it in the final. And kind of transitioning a little bit to Greece, I'm not gonna lie, I love Greece's song. To me, it's my biggest grower. When I first heard it, I liked it. I thought that it was good. I thought that it was an upgrade. I was like, I'll listen to it, but I don't know if I'm going to be like singing along to it. I am now singing along, dancing along. I love everything about Greece's song. I just feel like it just sounds so current and so fresh. And anyone that wants to say like Eurovision is dated or, any of this stuff, like, it's hard to say that with, I think, this song in the competition personally. Azan, what do you think of Greece?
Yeah, I like the song. I mean, it's much better than last year, I would say. So, and it's growing on me as well. It gives me a kind of, sort of Scandinavian pop music kind of feeling. It's good. It's good. And I can't wait to see, what they will do on stage. I can't wait to see.
Yeah, they keep teasing. Is it Greece that they're teasing that there's going to be something revolutionary on stage that we haven't seen before?
I'm like,
are rumors or rumors? But
no, those are the rumors, and I'm wondering, is it going to be like the Pegasus? Is it going to be like making it seem as if there's rain? Like is like the illusion of water on stage, but technically they've done that before, which is
Lorenzo, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, so I don't know what it's gonna be, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for it because I do think when I listen to the song, I sort of hear it sounds like, okay, and now this moment happens on the stage. Like it does seem to be a song built for the visual. And then we move on to Austria. What do y'all think about Austria?
Theatrical. It's a narrative story rather than an entertainment story. I feel like it's a good vehicle for his vocals, but I feel like it doesn't do him quite justice. And I feel like after the song that we had from Vincent last year, which was this very showy and very upbeat and danceable and engaging, I feel like this is a bit more like the song that you would hear from your leading male 2/3 of the way through your musical, where he has some sort of emotional epiphany. And it's like, how is this the same guy? But it's well sung. It's just, I don't remember it 3 songs later. And it's a shame because I like him.
I really enjoy it as long as, while you listen to it, I'm like, this is actually good. I like this song. And then, as you said, almost the moment it finishes, it's like, what did I just listen to? But at Eurovision, with people voting, liking it while you hear it is probably enough. You don't have to remember it for much longer.
I think we need to leave Austria in the semi. Although Austria has qualified, I believe, with less in the past, I do think we're just getting so much different from a lot of the other countries and so much risk. Personally, I prefer not to reward this entry. If it makes it, I feel like it's the jury helping it out. And on a level, I'm gonna need them to sit down and help out some other people in this semi because, yeah, let's move on. We got Poland up next. What are y'all thinking about Poland?
Oh man, Poland! Yeah, I love the song. I love the song. So getting so excited about it. So, yeah, but I love it. The first time when I listened to it, I was like, oh yeah, this is good. This is so good. It gives me such a 80s kind of vibe. I was thinking about the song of the weekend. Do you think you might have been inspired by that song from last year? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like people were inspired by something because there's so many.
The 80s. Yeah, the 80s are definitely having a moment. I think.
Yeah.
Music right.
Where's it coming from? There must be. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking. But yeah, I love Poland. Love it.
Do you feel like it's gonna qualify though?
I think it is.
Okay.
I think you don't think so?
I don't. I
no. What?
Honestly, at least your mileage may vary. Like I have a similar comment, even though the songs are completely different between Austria and Poland. That I appreciate it and I enjoy it in the moment, but I move on. I don't remember very much about it. I use this turn of phrase a lot. It's for me a cotton candy song. It's bright and fluffy and enjoyable in the moment, but it dissolves right after you consume it. For me.
I'm gonna write this down. Let's see.
Hey, you know what? We'll see what happens. The next time I see you in person, one of us will owe the other one a drink or a dessert of some sort. Cheers to that.
Yeah, I'm not hating it, but I don't expect to see it advance. But when it comes on in the car, I can kind of let it ride. The ride. I can let it ride. It's not awful. Like I don't think Poland should be mad at it. But then we come from Poland into Moldova.
Talk about cotton candy.
Oh, I'm
loving Moldova. For me, what do y'all think?
Oh, Moldova is amazing.
It's crazy.
It is so good. I love her voice. I cannot stop listening to her music. Not just this song, not just the one from last year. It's just, she is so good. So yeah, this had better qualify. If not, I'm going to be super upset.
Do you think she will qualify over Poland? Do you think that this song?
Yeah.
Between those two, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I hate to invoke the name, but I feel like Philip Kirkorov will not let this be forgotten. Like the amount of investment that he will put behind this.
Yeah, no, it's going to be impactful on the stage. No one is going to forget it. It's not going to be forgettable. It's going to be a moment. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, the song, it's catchy. And I say like, it's sort of that trash pop in a good way.
Yeah.
Like in a good way. I really like it. And so kind of going from Moldova, then we transition to Iceland, which I'm loving 10 years. I'm really liking it. And I do think the fandom is a little bit quiet on Iceland this year, but I'm loving it. What do y'all think? What do you think about the running order? What do you think about the song?
I think because so many of us in the Eurovision bubble are comparing it to the song that, for all intents and purposes, could have walked away with the trophy last year. That
would have.
Very, very likely. Very, very likely. Who knows? But yeah, let's be real. The fact that it was such a chart hit, that it crossed over in so many different, local charts, a lot of people I think are focused on what we could have had and not the really solid and heartfelt and fun song that we do have. I love this. And it's upbeat and fun, but in a totally, totally different way than Moldova before it. It's that scene, I don't know how, I'm probably dating myself a little bit here. Revenge of the Nerds, where at the end of it, they all have the concert and they it reminds me of that. And being a total geek myself, like I if I were in Iceland, like I would want to be these people's friends. Like I would want to hang out with
Yeah.
I have to say,
ask them if
yeah, speaking of like movies, to me, this is like Napoleon Dynamite when he does the performance for Pedro. Like that's like that vibe. Yeah, like that's the vibe I get. I think that this is really good. I think that it is advancing. I think people forget that Dottie is now, I think, a pretty notable figure in Europe to a certain degree. Folks aren't going to forget it, and this song is good. I don't know how I feel about the placing, to be honest. I don't know.
It's interesting. I think it's interesting where they put it.
Yeah,
because it is gonna stand out a lot between Moldova and Serbia.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is so very, very different to both of those. And even though Moldova and Serbia aren't the same, they have the same kind of vibe. And then you have 10 years in between. And I think that's going to make it stand out a lot. So I think that's going to be positive.
yeah,
I think so too.
yeah. No,
because you have Moldova before, and then you have Iceland, and then Serbia, and people might go like, okay, didn't we just hear this song?
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah, could be.
Definitely. So let's kind of transition. So we have Serbia up next. What are y'all feeling about Serbia? I think we sort of talked about this a little bit in the last stream. So Izana, what are you thinking about Serbia? Hurricane.
Well, I always like groups. I always like groups. It's just that the song itself is just not as strong as I would have liked it to be for them, I guess. And then coming after a groovy song, which is like people are like, oh, and all of a sudden it's like boom. I think people will be a bit of maybe a bit shocked, maybe a bit like, oh, okay, this is different. I think people would need a few minutes to. I'm not sure for Hurricane. Yeah, but the girls can sing. It's just, yeah. Well, how do other people feel about it?
Well, I think I should say I do think it's probably going to advance. That's kind of where I'm at. But I will say I think that there is a chance that it might not. And the fear that I have is that on stage we end up doing too much. And with Moldova, I'm not really worried. I kind of feel like there's a cleanness to what they're going to ultimately put on the stage. With Serbia, I'm slightly concerned because it could go either way. It could be like trash, excess, great, like I'm just dancing, having my girl group moment. Or it could be like, you're just doing too much. It's too many camera angles. The styling is too much. And then and then the dance sequence is a mess. I think that this will need some really thoughtful staging personally.
As I said on Sunday, I apologize to all Hurricane fans out there, but this is probably my last race. I can totally see why people love it because, I mean, if you're into that kind of music, it's a fun song, it's danceable, they can sing, it's colorful, it's crazy, and it is so not me as you can possibly get. And I think comparing it again then to Moldova, it seems, at least to me, that Moldova has this sort of ironic distance to this whole thing, while Serbia actually means it. And I'm kind of like, no.
That's a really good point.
That's
a really good point.
And actually, I think I hear it's almost like with Moldova, it's like the wink. It's the performance with a wink.
Yeah.
Whereas Serbia, there's no wink. It's like, this is what we are doing. Like, we are doing this. Yeah. Let's transition. So after Serbia, then we take a hard left into Georgia. I don't expect to see Georgia qualifying. I think that this running order is doing it absolutely no favors. Absolutely no favors.
I don't think any running order would have helped that qualify. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
great. He has such a great voice, and I really, really, really want to like it.
But
I mean, what is there really to notice even in this song? It's not that I dislike it. It's just there's nothing there.
Oh, there's a lot for me there. It makes me feel so relaxed.
Really?
It does. I kind of
Well,
like
that actually makes me happy.
Yeah, it does. It does something for me.
okay. It gets to somebody. I
think the staging is gonna. I think they announced Sasha's doing the staging.
I think so. Yeah.
And she has been doing a lot of staging for Georgia. I mean, she's been doing it in 2016 to 17, so many years. I mean, I think maybe all the years. I mean, she did a lot of staging for Georgia.
Yeah. But it's just, I mean, looking at the creative things, I mean, what he did last year was definitely not to everybody's taste, but at least it was impactful and memorable.
Yes.
And for those of us who knew his national final song from a couple of years ago, one called You Are My Sunshine, it was a similar kind of craziness. And to see him come to the contest with something so subtle and, pretty in some ways, but like, is it right for this contest that you have to be memorable and call people to action and call people to vote for you? Even the juries? It's just, what would inspire a person to pick up their phone and vote for this? Not to say that it's bad,
no,
but it's just, if it's
right. You're absolutely right. We're not talking necessarily about the song. We're talking about how the song is going to play in this arena, in this box that is semifinal 2 of Eurovision 2021. Next up, we have Albania. And I will just say, I think the only person helped by this 10 through 13 running order, from my perspective, is Albania.
Yes.
I think Albania is getting helped out a lot being where it is. What do y'all think?
Agreed. I completely agreed. Having a powerhouse, really strong female vocal like that, and even if you don't speak Albanian, you know that there's going to be a lot of emotion behind this, because that is frankly what Albania is really, really good at serving. To come with a powerful female vocal and hopefully a good staging after something so subtle and so chill, it's gonna bump it up, I think. Yeah.
I agree completely, because after, I I mean, the people at home watching this show, you can say what you want about the Georgian song, but it's not very viewer friendly, is it? It's not going to make an impact. And then you've had like 3 minutes with like really, really, really down.
True.
And then this Albanian song just bursts. I mean, the passion just flows off the stage. So I think that is, it's really, really going to benefit from coming after Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling really good about the running order for Albania. I always saw a place for them getting through, but then upon seeing the running order, I felt even more confident in that. And up next, we have Portugal. What do y'all think of Portugal?
I love the first 30 seconds of it, and then nothing more happens.
Yeah, I appreciate this. I appreciate the narrative. I appreciate the unique tone in Tatanka's voice, the lead singer. I'm it's kind of miffing me a little bit to not have Portuguese language. I think I may have taken it for granted for all these years because I love the Portuguese language and music. Eu falo pouquinho de português, então para mim é prazer ouvir. Mas I'm sorry. It's going to be overshadowed, and it's a nice song. It's again a kind of nice coffee house kind of song, but
that's it.
It's going to take a lot, and coffee house songs don't normally make it through. Just ask Carousel. Just ask so many.
Yeah, and it's also very samey to me. There's sort of no real development through the song. I mean, as I said, I really, really, when I first heard it, I was like, this might turn into one of my favorites. I like this. And then it just, if it had been half a minute, I would love it.
Yeah, the thing about Portugal is it needs some other elements around it to, I think, help it out a little bit. Elements that we really won't know until we're kind of there. And I'd be curious to see kind of what happens in semifinal 1 to maybe inform a little bit, because there is something about the song that I do feel like is sonically very different. And that can oftentimes be a little bit of an advantage. But let's move on. We have them up next, Bulgaria. How are y'all feeling about Bulgaria? Growing up is getting old. And I also just say, I think that the running order is not helping Bulgaria at all. I'm actually sort of irked on behalf of Bulgaria, because this is not where I would have placed this song at all.
Agreed.
But,
not if the point is making all the songs shine. Because I think they managed to do that in Semi 1, and they also managed to make quite a few songs in Semi 2 shine. But Bulgaria is drowning here. They've literally buried it in this running order, and
Agreed.
it's a shame because she's good.
But it's just because she's after Portugal. And Portugal is also, such a, I don't know, I think it would have even been better for her if she just came after Albania. Even after Albania, I feel it would have just, because you would have something up-tempo, something so big and huge, and all of a sudden you will get something small, something intimate, something. And then now she's after Portugal. I'm not sure about that.
I mean, part of me is hoping, do we know where the commercial breaks are going to be here? Is there any possibility that there's going to be a split between some of these samey songs that would kind of give a little bit of a breath? Because I'm with you guys. I think it's a beautiful song, great quality. I really, really like her. She's one of the artists that I will continue to follow after the show. But this running order is just not the best for her.
Yeah.
Do you
Isn't it likely that
I was just going to say, see this comment. I have heard some people whispering fears of Bulgaria not qualifying. I don't think I'm there yet. I feel like it's qualifying, but I don't think that this running order is helping it. I think it's still going to make it through, but this running order is not helping it.
Oh, she's
I'm
qualified.
thinking the song
You know,
in itself should
yeah.
qualify, but with this running order, the chances actually aren't as. I mean, it's not as obvious a qualifier as it was with the
Right.
running order, and I think it's very likely that a commercial break will be right before or right after Serbia.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's
So
what I was thinking.
this Georgia, Albania, Portugal, Bulgaria will probably be
Be the clump.
together without a break in between. I think.
But the thing after all of this, out of all 4 of those songs that we're talking about here, so Georgia, Albania, Portugal, Bulgaria, I saw a comment from my friend Kylie earlier in the chat saying that she can't hear it without having an emotional reaction. And
Yeah.
that is the only one of those 4 songs that I have heard people say, this hits me, like right in the feels. And
then you from Georgia, I'm kidding. No.
I mean, your mileage may vary, like I said, but it seems, even for people hearing it just for the first time, like some people are really, really connecting with this, and that might be enough to push it through to hopefully a situation where it'll be surrounded by songs that are more different.
The thing that I see with Bulgaria, and I said this, I did like a review. I'm reviewing all the countries and I'm not done yet, but I did post my Bulgaria review. The thing is, like, a performance should be like a flower blossoming. Tears Getting Sober, it was like before she even opened her mouth, the flower had bloomed and it had spinned off, and now we're in the galaxy following this flower. The issue with Growing Up Is Getting Old is we are watching the flower bloom, but it takes us to get to like that kind of crescendo at the end and that bridge for it to sail off into the universe. And I just do wonder, for Eurovision viewers, is that too long? And that's my fear with it. Is it too long? Whereas, Tears Getting Sober, I think, was far more immediate just in its composition than this one is.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
After Portugal, it might be a bit too long, but she will qualify. I believe she will.
I'm thinking, in addition to Dalifred, Victoria is probably the one losing the most with not getting to take their last year's entry to the contest.
I think even
Vincent Bueno.
Well, to me, even I think Bulgaria, because to me, Bulgaria was coming top 3 last year.
Yeah,
it was coming top 3. Whether it was 1, 2, or 3, who knows? But it was coming top 3. I just felt that last year. This year, I don't know. It's so much more of a potpourri, and I mean, Tears Getting Sober to me hasn't aged a day. That song really. We could have had it this year, and it still would have felt fresh to me, which is unfortunate. But let's move on. We got Finland next.
Talk about whiplash.
With the fire, coming in with the impact. Yes, I am loving this. I like where it is. I wish Latvia was bumped up somewhere to split up. I think the beginning maybe. Yeah. Honestly, I was actually thinking Finland was going to close the semi. That was what I was clocking. I was clocking for Finland to close out semifinal 2. Yeah, but what do y'all think about Finland? Do you think it's qualifying? I mean, I think it's qualifying, but yeah, what do y'all think?
I think it's going to qualify. There's really nothing like it in the competition. In the semifinal portion of the competition, I should say. Once you get to the finals, then people are going to invariably compare it to Italy, which I think is kind of an unfair comparison because they're very different forms of rock. But I'm sort of the rock fan for a lot of this stuff, so I'm kind of nitpicky about that. It's going to stand out, absolutely. To me, it seems a lot like the stuff that I used to listen to in my high school years. So, like, I'm not sure if that means that it's familiar to me or that it's dated to me. To each their own, but there's an aspect in some of the messaging in here that I do find a little bit problematic, and we've covered this in 12 Points from America and ESC Insight. But I think most people, when they're listening to it for the first time, it might take the second time going through the lyrics to kind of get some of that messaging. And I might just be overly picky and overly sensitive to some of it. But it's going to qualify. It'll make it to the final. It'll probably do pretty well overall, especially considering that Finland is kind of hit or miss recently. Yeah, that's what I gotta say.
And most people don't actually listen to the lyrics. I mean,
I realize that.
Yeah, that's the
I
thing.
realize.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't, like, I think when we listen to them, a lot of people don't. And I think they're just going to be kind of, and someone in the comments already said this, and I just want to shout out Prince. Thank you so much for the dollars. Thank you, Prince. You're rooting for Portugal, and I'm here for it. I don't think people listen to the lyrics a lot. And I think people will just be in the vibe of like, this is loud. It's catchy. It does have that, ooh, you know, people can kind of latch onto it. It's very instant. I will say I worry for it based off of what happened to Hungary in 2018. But I think Eurovision, folks, it's just been so long since a rock song has won Eurovision. And I'm not going to lie, like, I don't know if this is the year, but I kind of want it to be, because I'm probably, maybe I'm being selfish. I'm a little bit like, we're overdue for like a rock win, and I would not mind Finland winning, and I would not mind Italy winning.
I would much rather Italy take it, but that's just personal preference here. Also, I've never been to Italy. I actually haven't been to Finland either, but I'd rather go to Italy. No offense to any Finnish voters or any Finnish people here. You have a beautiful country that, you know, I wish I just liked licorice more.
I couldn't love licorice more, so I'll happily go to Finland. I would also happily go back to Italy. So, but I mean, I'm a rock chick at heart. Rock is my genre over anything else. And I really, really like this. It's very different to Italy, and it's also very different to Hungary from back when. So I think that what we talked about the lyrics as well, people might listen to the lyrics when it's a ballad or a mid-tempo song, but in a rock song, it's more the atmosphere, the power of it all. So I think that this is just gonna blow people's hair back and make them sit up straight and grab their phones.
Well, the lyric about put the middle fingers up, that one, that will, it sticks with me. I wonder how it will. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this song. I did like, for example, I did like Hungary 2018. I did like 2019 Iceland. I'm not sure about this song, but you know what? I mean, we'll see. I'm not sure.
We will see. We will see. Indeed. Let's shift back to our running order. After Finland, we have Latvia, which I think is interesting placement. I would have moved Latvia. I don't think it needs to be here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit. Last year, I saw Latvia possibly qualifying. This year, I'm not really there. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Of course, it's gonna happen. It has to happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm just but yeah. What do y'all think? The thing is, I like the song. I think we're actually getting like kind of the same energy, whereas I think some folks maybe graduated a little bit, maybe took what they did last year and sort of built upon it. I think Samantha is giving us the same energy as last year. But I think last year, with what semifinal 2 was shaking out as, I felt far more confident for it than I do this year with the way that everyone else has decided to show up.
Where do I start with Latvia?
I mean, it's right after Finland too. I mean, it's.
I think it's gonna come down a lot to staging with this one, because I think that it's the song itself in its just composition. It's crazy. It's chaos. It's kitchen sink. It's crazy strong vocals. It's, you know, strong important message, which, you know, all power to her. The grammar ticks me off about this song. I'm sorry. Sorry. As you know, there are parts of the song that I really appreciate and really like, and there are parts of it that just completely take me out of it. It's both minimalistic in certain parts of its composition and then like turned up to 25,000 in others, and I'm left with my head spinning by the end of it. It's people are going to either be totally on board with this or completely scared crapless. And I don't think there's going to be any other round.
I'm afraid the average viewer is gonna fall into the last alternative there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like saying it because I really like this song. I like her a lot. This is a song that's very me.
The queen of the night is coming. Yeah, yep. I like it. I can sing along to it. I just think I think what's hurting the song is not even so much the song itself. It's the fact that the way that the other songs have shook out, I think the genre diversity that we're already getting, and just the fact that like a lot of countries in semifinal 2 stepped up off of last year. They just have better songs this year. Whereas I think Latvia is doing what they did last year, but the competition is just tighter. Is really what I think I'm seeing. And then after Latvia, we have Switzerland, which is, one of our runners, real shift.
Yeah.
A hard shift. Yeah. How are y'all feeling about Switzerland this year?
It's beautiful. It's artistry, it's sensitivity. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, it's, people voting for this are just voting for Duncan all over again. I was like, sometimes emotions, feelings, not fireworks. Sometimes, this is going to be the ultimate, comparison between fireworks and feelings going from Latvia to Switzerland. Huh. I think that it brings a lot of the things that I liked about his song last year, Répondez-moi, but that little kick in of rhythm and beat just kind of drives it forward in a way that we didn't really see last year. This washes over some people, but for me, it hits hard. And I love that voice. I can't, I'm not sure if I could see it winning the whole damn thing, but it's part of a cadre of songs, like 5 or 6 songs that if the wind is just right and if the running order in the final is right, he could do it. So God bless my wallet for, having to afford 2 weeks in Switzerland next year if that happens.
Yeah, it's such a good song. I mean, the music video, the producer did a great job who did the same for Arcade. He's gonna win this semifinal. That's what I think. Yep.
You think he's gonna win? Here's my thing. So I liked the song last year. And I remember I was doing my Zoom party with everyone, and Sam was on the Zoom party last time. Izan, you were on it too.
I was there too.
Yeah, you were there.
You were there too. Reunion. And I think folks were sort of like, I think there was a thing, like I really liked it last year, but it might have been maybe not too low key, but almost too art. And that's the fear that I have about France this year, actually, except for the fact that people, I think, go into, because I think we bring a little bit of, I don't even want to say bias, but like a lens to a country. So watching France do what they're doing, your lens is like, I'm already kind of expecting something like this, so I can receive it. Whereas I think with Switzerland, there might be a little bit more of a juxtaposition. So the expectation isn't maybe there to then consume it. And although I really liked Switzerland last year, it was probably like my most played song last year, actually. This year, I like it, but it's not my most played song. And that's not really saying anything. Like, I like it. I think it could win, but it's not my most played song. And I really wonder what mood we're going to be in. And I think that this year is shaping up to be a little bit of a 2011 year, which means we're going to have like the juries a little bit all over the place. And maybe even I think the televote will be slightly more cohesive. than the jury this year. And with that said, I don't think that is setting it up well for Switzerland to possibly win, from what I'm thinking. But I think it's going to be beautiful on stage. I think it's going to be delivered well. I wouldn't be mad if Switzerland won.
But I mean, guys, come on. If you look at this semifinal, right? Who else is going to win this semifinal?
Let's see.
Well, here's the thing. Because in order to win it, like we're talking about collective, I think San Marino has a chance to maybe win the semi-televote wise. Like I'm just gonna say that. And if the staging isn't garbage, I could see it in the top 5 for juries. If the staging isn't garbage. So that could set something up. If it wins the televote by enough, then we're having kind of a different conversation. Now it could win like in a middling way, where it sort of ends up winning by being like just top 3 in jury or televote. That's possible. But I think Finland is coming in. I think we're underestimating Finland a little bit. And I'm not going to lie, I could see Bulgaria winning the jury.
Possibly.
I could see Bulgaria winning the jury, actually. Like the more I say it, the more I'm like, yeah, no, I could see Bulgaria just taking the top. And maybe Switzerland comes like top 3. And then I think the other thing we can't forget is Greece, because if she delivers it well vocally, we know the stage show is probably going to be good. So then that's probably up there. And that, like,
she's a very good singer.
Yeah. So
this is so unpredictable.
So it could, yeah, I think Semi 2 is unpredictable, but I guess what I'm saying is I could see a world where, yes, Switzerland wins, but not necessarily coming like number 1 in both jury and televote. It could just come in top 3 in one of the buckets. And it all depends upon the margin of where I think the televote will go, which I think in this semi, we could see wild discrepancies between the jury and the televote in this semi in particular, not so much in semifinal 1.
Yeah, honestly, this is so completely widespread and unpredictable. I have no idea which direction this is going to go. This is, I'm not the kind of person who bets, and more than any year, this is the year that I'm happiest that I don't, because if this is anything like 2011, where something came completely out of nowhere and some of the favorites just didn't perform up to the expectations. Like I remember we were all thinking that we were off to France in 2012. And then Amari Vasily had in-ear monitor problems for that live performance. He couldn't hear himself very well. That's why he went all flat. And then we were off to Baku, and anything can happen. Anything can happen.
I'm delighted that we went to Baku, but I wish we'd gone to Baku for another song. Not that one.
I've told you the hassle that I had to get with my visa for Baku, right, Viv?
Yep.
That is a story for another live stream, I feel. And luckily they've completely changed their vising system for Americans since then. But next topic.
Well, yeah, so let's not forget, so closing out the show is Denmark. Denmark. What are y'all feeling? Look, I don't think that Denmark is qualifying. Let me just get that out of the way. I don't think that it's qualifying. But I do like the nostalgic feel I sort of get from the song. And I say this as an American who didn't necessarily grow up listening to like Danish, like 80s pop music. And so I wonder if it'll feel even more nostalgic for a European audience, because I really do like it. And we know the staging is going to be pretty much exactly like what they did at the national selection. I don't think they're going to mix it up. I don't think it's qualifying. But if it did, I would not be surprised.
I think it's a good closer. It's a feel-good song. It's uplifting. It's fun. I think you couldn't close this semifinal with Switzerland. You need to bring in an energy to get people excited for voting and all of that. I totally get it why it's closing the show. I'm hearing more and more people saying, "Oh, but I like Denmark. I like Denmark." It's growing on some people, but most people watching are really only seeing it for the first time.
It has not been growing on me so far.
I know. It's slowly growing on me, but not enough for me to say that I like it. Like it. It's sort of like, okay, it's there. I don't mind it. I'm not going to skip it. But it's like, I like it as a little ray of sunshine, but it goes back to the cotton candy songs that I was talking about before. Only this one is a slightly weirdly flavored cotton candy that I'll remember for a little bit longer than the other ones.
I think, I feel like this is like full 80s, and it's definitely got a sense of humor about it. I don't feel like it's a joke act. I feel like we are in on the joke. It's not laughing at us. We're laughing kind of together at this like 80s nostalgic moment, and they're fully committing to it. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the full commitment that they're giving to us. Yeah. So who do y'all think is going to, so we've got a couple of minutes left. I just want to say thank you to everyone who is watching. We are now going to hop into the comments. So if you have a question for the Ladies' Choice Eurovision panel, drop down in the comments right now and I will throw the questions up. But before we kind of get into that, let's just all go around and say who our winner of semifinal 2 would be. If you had to pick a winner yourself, and obviously we have no staging or anything like that, but who would your winner be?
For just personal taste, not trying to predict. Oh, that's tough. Czech Republic or Iceland, or maybe Switzerland if I'm in a melancholy mood. Just what makes me feel good.
For me, I'm going to say it's probably going to be like Czech Republic or Greece. Those are the songs I'm just really listening to. So yeah, Czech Republic or Greece will probably be like my personal sonic winners. I've been listening to those songs probably the most.
Finland, Latvia, Iceland. I think for me. Yeah.
Izana.
I will say Switzerland, period. But then I like Czech Republic and San Marino a lot too. But it's definitely gonna be Switzerland.
Okay, I saw this in the comments. All right, here we go. So so the Slovenian Amen versus the Austrian Amen.
Austria. Austria.
Yeah, probably Austria between those two.
Yeah.
But they were both completely trumped by Francesco Gabbani's song in Sanremo a couple years ago, also called Amen.
Also the Israeli Amen from way back.
Oh, Leora? Really?
Mm-hmm.
No, Gabbani. It's all Gabbani all the time for me.
I think for me, I like Anna. Like I want more for her, I guess, like because I'm really into a thick, rich vocal. So I like say Slovenia in like the vocal. But of the song, probably Amen. But you know what? Honestly, I probably listened to that song maybe like twice. And I have not gone back to revisit it. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Oh wait, someone said, why is everyone afraid to say San Marino will be the winner? You're acting like jurors who only give points to Sweden because it's Sweden. I don't feel like I was afraid. I think I said that I thought San Marino could possibly shake out and be the winner of semifinal 2.
I don't not like it. I just like other songs more. I think it's certainly in my top, like looking at the 17 songs in the semifinal, it's in my top 5, I would say. But just
I think I have to say like kind of the same I did for Ireland. I think that it depends a lot on her vocals, and they're not always as good as we might wish they were.
Okay, that's a good thing to know. I think my fear for San Marino is the staging. I think San Marino and Serbia concern me with what they might do visually. Because it could either be really good or like
that Flow Rider. You think Flow Rider will accept? I don't know.
Flow Rider is not a stager.
He's not
He
coming.
shows up to clubs and start rapping. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just gonna show up. It's not gonna be on him. You know.
I think he will be like, listen, I want the stage to be perfect. I want this, that. You don't think he's gonna?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's coming into this with the same knowledge of the seriousness of the contest. He, you know,
Okay.
not to, I mean, granted, like Alicia, you and I are Americans, so we kind of buck the trend here, but most Americans don't know how huge this
Yeah,
is. And I'm
this
sure
is,
the
I know.
delegation is saying, okay, it's a big deal,
Yeah.
especially for a small nation like San Marino.
I think
But-
he's just going to be happy to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, this is not, and this actually, I want to point to this question that we have: which non-qualifier from Semi 1 will qualify in Semi 2? I would say the people on the fence in Semi 1 right now are I don't know. I feel really confident about Ireland, but I'm always worried about Belgium just because they don't know what to do when it comes to staging. Sometimes I don't think that problem is going to happen this year. But I'm telling you, Ukraine and Belgium in semifinal 2 would instantly qualify from my perspective. I think there would be no question. Like,
Same.
if you threw Ukraine and Belgium in this run up, they're making it through. What do y'all think?
You took those two out of my mouth, actually. I probably would have added Australia as well, just because I feel like that's kind of on the cusp. But again, it'll depend on their vocals live. But there are so many songs. There are like 15 songs in that first semifinal that would, on a normal day, sail through. So
Yeah, I was going to say just about all of them. Or any of them.
Yeah, what do y'all think about this? And I think we kind of touched on this in semifinal 1, because I think semifinal 1 really is like the battle of the bops. But thinking about like the bops, do we think some of them will clash each other out? Which ones? Do you think, and keeping it focused a little bit on semifinal 2, do we think Moldova and Serbia are both going to be able to get out of here? Or do we think?
And I mean, you also have to include San Marino in this.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yes, so San Marino.
So I'm thinking those three. I don't think there's no chance all of them will qualify.
I would add Greece to that as well.
I'm not putting Greece in there.
I am.
Not entirely,
I think
but
Greece
yeah,
is different. The reason why I say I wouldn't completely include Greece in it, the song is far more dynamic. You know, we start off kind of slow. We have peaks and valleys in it, whereas I think the other ones are pretty booming the whole time. I think the other thing that kind of takes her a little bit out of this is kind of that ingenue vibe that she's giving off, that we're not getting that from San Marino. We've got a seasoned performer. Moldova, seasoned. Serbia, all of them are seasoned. They're all, I think, in their 30s. I don't know.
They are, but the thing is, the styling with Moldova, and I'm getting this mostly from the music video, the little frilly things, the T-strap, like the Mary Jane hooker pumps, like there's a weird sort of I know, but it's just this weird little infantilization.
But it's very Kylie Minogue. They pretty much styled her, I feel like Kylie. And again, I'm thinking seasoned performer. But I hear what you're saying. I think, so you think some of them might cancel each other out. I think of those 4, Serbia, I'm the most nervous for. Moldova, I feel pretty confident about. Greece, I feel pretty confident about. And I feel confident about San Marino. But Serbia, I think I just need the other elements, I guess, to really make a judgment on that.
I'm thinking that both San Marino and Moldova might struggle.
Wait, San Marino and Moldova.
No, sorry. Moldova and Serbia. I think both Moldova and Serbia might struggle.
Mm-hmm. Those to me are the two that I would most kind of compare, and especially since they are so close to each other.
Yeah,
I'm more fearful for that, but I also could see a way where both of them makes it. I think that there's this interesting thing of the escapism, and I just recently did like my reaction to all of the songs, and it put me in a weird mindset a little bit, where the peaks and valleys of some of the songs, where when these sort of start hard lefts, and I found myself just. And I mean, I listen to all the songs. I have like my selects playlist, and, you know, Switzerland is on there. France is on my selects playlist. But in listening to all the songs together, I did find myself like, oh, and now I'm down. Now I'm down. And then when it would come back up with something booming, I was just like in it. And I wonder if in a year like this, if people really do want the escape, what do y'all think? And that, I guess that'll be my final question. Like, in a year like we've had, do we want the meditative moment? And I would say that's like the Switzerland's, the France, Bulgaria, I think is a really good meditative moment. Or do we want the escape?
Oh, that comes down to personal preference, I think. I think some people want that brightness, especially, it's springtime. We all want that breath of fresh air, open up the windows. And, now that we're getting glimmers of hope out there, and hopefully you at home are staying safe and hopefully have access to a vaccine soon.
Tomorrow.
Yes. But some people also feel, misery loves company, and they want somebody on the other side of the world to sing to their emotions, that we are brokenhearted. Many of us have lost people and are hurting and are scared and stressed. And sometimes you want your music to reflect that. And we have never had anything like this to compare this to. So I think we're really kind of charting new territory with all of this.
I think I'm going to cause a bit of a scandal now and say that for me, this semi actually stops after Latvia. I mean, Switzerland is a song that I should love, and it doesn't do anything for me at all. And I'm not sure why. I mean, the first time I listened to it, I couldn't even finish listening to it because there was something in it that just annoyed me terribly. And it actually took effort to listen to it the first time. I don't know what it is. And it worries me because it's the kind of song that I normally should like.
It's interesting you say this because I've had some folks who did like Switzerland last year. And I think for some of them, they were like, well, I liked it last year, but I'm in a different space now. And I see we have this one comment here that's like, I think quality will win, slow or fast shouldn't matter. So if you listen to the question that I asked, I'm not talking about fast or slow. The question I asked was, are you looking for an escape or a meditative moment? And I think arguably, what I'm talking about is the lyrical content, the message and the message and vibe of the song. And obviously a quality song should win, duh. But is it going to be a quality song that is a meditative moment for you? Or is it a quality song that makes you feel like you can escape?
It looks like you're thinking exactly the same as I am now, Sam.
No, for me, there's a song that bridges the gap, and it's Iceland. And it's a bop, it's a breath of fresh air, it's fun, it's joy. But if you you take a moment, and it's all about connecting with the ones you love and don't take them for granted and growing together in this very sweet, lovable moment. And you can have both. This is
Poland.
Well,
I'm gonna stop. Mark my words.
Well, thank y'all so much for joining me today. Thank you all for tuning into this live stream. We will probably be back sooner to Eurovision and talk all of the things. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me. I love having these conversations with you. And in times like these, we need more Eurovision content. So we're trying to give that content to you in all of our different channels. Please peep the description below on YouTube and find out more about some of these lovely ladies that are here. Thank you so much, and bye, y'all.
Bye.